Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. So I just want to wish you guys a happy new year. This is my first video for 2020. I just did this makeup look for Instagram, so this is why I'm just looking glammed up in my robe. But I did this look for Instagram, so if you're not following me, please follow me on IG. I post content on there pretty much daily. So yeah, today I'm going to do a story time, and I did a story time a couple months ago. I realized that a lot of you guys like the story time. Some of you guys was, basically telling me your own personal experiences, and I actually love that. So I feel like I'm going to go ahead and do part 2 of that story. The story time was when I moved from Jamaica to England. If you haven't yet watched part 1, please go ahead and watch part 1, and then you head back over here to watch part 2. I'm going to put part 1 in the description box. So I'm just going to continue from part 1 and jump straight into part 2. So I believe I told you guys, like, when I finally got to England and I met my mom. Okay, so once I met my mom, my family at the airport, we traveled home. It was a very, very exciting time for everyone. I got to reconnect with my sister. She had just previously left Jamaica. I got reconnected with my mom, and I also got to meet my new sibling. I had a brother and a sister. They're twins. They were pretty young at the time. Now they're big people, like they're well in their 20s. So everything was just fine. Everything was peachy. It was a really, really happy time in my life. There's this one time, right? This wasn't long after I came here. I never forget this story. I don't know if my sister does, but I remember our mom sent us to the corner shop to buy something, and we didn't know the money. We wasn't used to the money. We was used to Jamaican currency, obviously the dollars. So my mom sent us to the shop with some money, and then when we went to the shop, we had some change left over. But the change that was left over was like pennies, like 1p, 2p, 5p, like it was all pennies. So we really wanted to buy sweets and snacks. So when we bought what my mom sent us to buy, we paid for it, everything, and he gave us back our change. We wanted to buy something, but we didn't know how much it was. We didn't know the right money. And we was like discussing among ourselves, like, can this buy it? Can this buy it? Like, we literally didn't know what we was doing. So we both went to the cashier, and we had all these pennies in our hands, and we was like, excuse me, can this buy anything? So the man must have told us what we could have bought with it. It must have been some sweets or something. But it was just so funny. It's just the adjustment of like coming from there, coming here. Eventually I've had to start adjusting to like a new life in a new country, a new environment. And like my mom has started like making preparations for us to start going to school. First we had to go and get our uniforms fitted, and the uniform was pretty much like a white shirt, a cardigan over the white shirt, and then a blazer over the cardigan. First day of school, we went to school. I think I touched on this a little bit in the last story time, but I'm just gonna touch back into it a little bit. So first day of school, we went to school. We sat in the principal's office, and she was basically telling us the classroom that we needed to go into. My sister was in a year above me, I think. So we weren't going to be in the same class. Oh yeah, I remember I told you guys that while we were sitting in the principal's office, a girl was like banging on the window, and like she kind of waved to us, and she was being really, really friendly. I ended up being in the same class as her. She pretty much hung around with me. When we went to lunch, she pretty much hung around with me then as well. And then I met like a few other people, because you're the new kid on the block, you're the new girl in school, so people are gonna want to talk to you, especially the fact that you're Jamaican. Them times when you come in this country fresh from Jamaica, it was a big deal. Like, everyone want to be up in your face. As time goes by, we started to develop more friends. I'll see my sister, but it's mainly like lunchtime in the playground. And then at this point, she's now forming like her own friendship group. I'm forming my own friendship group. So once I started getting settled in the school now, I realized that the way that we was dressing to go to school, nobody in the school was dressing like that. So we was wearing the proper uniform down to the T. I'm talking white shirt, I'm talking cardigans, I'm talking blazers, I'm talking skirts, tights, shoes, everything. But when we went to school, all the kids was looking at us like, they were just looking at us funny. When we really check it, none of those kids were dressed down to the T like that. Some of them only wore like a white shirt, a skirt, and that's it. Some of them wore like a skirt, a cardigan, no blazer. Like, nobody was really fully dressed. First of all, I'm like, this not gonna work. I am not coming back to school all dressed up in full attire like this. Like, it's not gonna happen. Now, when I start coming back to school now, try know that the cardigan's gone, the blazer is gone, my white shirt's on, the skirt's more fitted, the skirt's a bit shorter. And yeah, my just have to start turn up the thing. Even though I wasn't going to school to look pretty, it was to learn. But also, I wasn't going to be bullied because I was dressed a certain way. I had to fit in and step my thing up. As the years go by, I found myself, I was doing my own thing. So when I got to like year 10 in the school, I started doing music. Music and drama, I got the highest marks in because those were the subjects that I loved. Or there was this guy in the school that likes to annoy all of the females. When I say annoy the females, this guy used to just annoy all of the females. I used to watch him just like pick on the other girls all the time. This guy, he done something to me and he must have had to like touch me or something for me to react, because if you're talking off your mouth, I'm not going to touch you. I will never put my hands on you. But once you touch me or lay your finger on me, it's done, it's over. So I must have been in music class now, and obviously something was said and this guy touched me. When I tell you that I flip out, I flip. I must have took a chair up from the class, and when I tell you I was beating the boy with a chair to the point that I was so angry that I must have threw the chair right through the window and broke the window. And it wasn't a small window, it was a big glass window. So you know who in a trouble and you know who for mother them I got call, right? After the fight done and everything, like everybody was just like, oh, people was bigging me up. Like them couldn't believe, because the fact that this guy walk around and annoy everybody, the fact that me beat him up, everybody love it. Like when you go to school here, you have to make sure that you know yourself. You have to make sure that you're sure of yourself, you're confident of yourself, because these children will walk over you and try to bully you, you know. So after that now, this guy never ever, when I say never, I think this guy even started saying hi to me after this, because he used to walk around and pick on people and they don't do nothing to him. But this time he picked on the wrong girl. Like he picked on the wrong girl. So that was that scenario. I think when I started doing music as well now, like my whole image started changing. You know, girls start looking neat to go to school. My hair has to be well gelled down. You know when you used to have the fringe and you used to use gel, Naxon gel and eye gel, and gel down the fringe and just do that something there, and you did a little curly something like this. Ear I feel well slick down. My hair started change every minute ear change. So like my image, my whole little image was just changing all the time. That was just me anyway. And yeah, just like everything like that, it was so... Secondary school was just like a mad experience. I remember the teachers used to call, like there was this one teacher, she was my form teacher, and she literally used to wait for me at the school gate and try to pull my skirt down. And she used to be like, they used to call my mom like to be like, oh, my skirt is too short. My skirt wasn't short to the point that it's too short, but it was shorter than what they want it to be. That happened. I actually got into another fight at school, and this other fight was so hard for me, because it's one that I did not even expect, you know. It's a fight that I didn't even expect. And this is why I always say I do not